Let me tell you something that most people don't want to hear. Wealth isn't about luck. It's not about privilege. It's not even about how much money you start with. It's about how you think. The difference between those who build wealth and those who struggle financially isn't their background, it's their mindset. Wealthy people see money as a tool, not a lifeline. They don't wait for the perfect opportunity, they create it. They don't complain about the system, they learn how to navigate it. Meanwhile, most people are stuck in a cycle of financial struggle, not because they aren't capable, but because they don't believe they can break free. They stay in jobs they hate, fearing risk more than they fear regret. But listen carefully. The moment you shift how you see money, you shift your entire future. Why most people never break free from financial struggle. It's not about effort. Millions of hard-working, intelligent people live paycheck to paycheck, constantly stressed, constantly stuck. Why? Because they play by the wrong rules. They've been taught to trade time for money, to save every penny, to avoid risks at all costs. But let me ask you this. If working hard was the key to wealth, wouldn't the hardest workers be the richest? Look around. That's not how it works. Most people never escape financial struggle because they follow a broken system, one designed to keep them exactly where they are. They fear investing, they fear failure, they fear looking stupid, so they do what's safe, what's familiar, and what's easy. But safety doesn't build wealth. Comfort zones don't create freedom. If you want to break free, you have to be willing to do what most people won't. Think differently, act boldly, and stop settling for survival when you were meant to thrive. The dangerous myths keeping you stuck in a cycle of mediocrity, you've heard them your whole life. Money's the root of all evil. Rich people are greedy. Success is just about who you know. Lies. All of them. And these myths are keeping you broke. Here's the truth. Money isn't evil, it's a magnifier. It amplifies who you already are. If you're generous, money lets you give more. If you're selfish, it makes you worse. Money is a tool, and like any tool, it depends on how you use it. Rich people aren't evil, they're strategic. They don't let emotions drive their financial decisions. They don't waste time blaming others for their situation. They take ownership. They learn the game and play it to win. And as for success being about who you know, connections help, sure. But do you know what really opens doors? Value, skills, knowledge. If you're valuable, people will want to know you. Success isn't given, it's earned. If you think you need money to make money, you've already lost. This is the biggest myth of all. People say, I'd start a business, but I don't have the money. I'd invest, but I don't have the capital. I'd take that opportunity, but I can't afford to. And that's why they stay broke, because they think money is the missing ingredient. It's not. The real asset isn't cash, it's resourcefulness. It's creativity. It's the ability to see opportunities where others see obstacles. Some of the wealthiest people on the planet started with nothing but an idea and the guts to chase it. They didn't wait for money. They built something valuable and the money followed. If you believe you need money to make money, you've already lost the game because you're thinking like an employee, not an owner. You're waiting for permission instead of taking control. Stop looking at what you don't have and start using what you do. Knowledge, effort, strategy. These are the real currencies of success, and they're free to anyone willing to learn and apply them. So the question is, are you ready to change your mindset, or will you keep making excuses? The choice is yours. Let me tell you something. Your mind is either your greatest asset or your biggest enemy. And most people, they don't even realize they've been walking through life in a cage, a prison built from the limiting beliefs they've absorbed since childhood. These beliefs are invisible chains, locking you into a reality far smaller than what you're capable of achieving. And the worst part, you don't even know they're there. How many times have you heard things like, money doesn't grow on trees, or you have to work hard just to get by? These phrases aren't harmless. They shape how you think, how you act, and ultimately, how much you allow yourself to achieve. If you believe success is reserved for the lucky, you'll never take the risks that lead to greatness. If you believe financial freedom is impossible, you'll never reach for it. Your beliefs dictate your destiny. Look at the world around you. Most people are stuck in the worker bee mentality, trading their time for money, day in and day out, never questioning if there's another way. They think security comes from a paycheck, from playing it safe. But creators, they see the world differently. They understand that wealth is built, not earned. That security is an illusion. They create, innovate, take risks. They refuse to be another cog in the machine. The question is, who do you want to be? And let's get one thing straight. The moment you blame the economy, your family, your past, you give up your power. You become a victim. And victims don't win. Life isn't fair, and it never will be. Some people are born into wealth, others into struggle. Some get opportunities handed to them. Others have to fight for every inch. But here's what separates the winners from the losers: responsibility. Winners own their circumstances. They don't make excuses, they make moves. So here's the challenge. Question every belief you've been taught about money, success, and what's possible. Because if your beliefs aren't serving you, they're trapping you. And the only way to break free is to destroy them, one by one. It's time to step into your power. It's time to rewrite your reality. The ownership mindset. Stop playing the game, start controlling it. Let me tell you something, life isn't a spectator sport. Too many people are sitting on the sidelines, waiting for a break, hoping for a miracle, or blaming circumstances. But the truth, life doesn't owe you anything. The world doesn't care about your excuses, and success doesn't come to those who wait. It comes to those who take control. You have two choices: be a player in someone else's game or build your own. It starts with one thing: ownership. Ownership is the difference between drifting and driving. It's the shift from being a consumer to being a builder. Most people wake up and go through the motions, scrolling, spending, consuming, waiting for a paycheck. But the people who succeed, they create. They see problems and build solutions. They don't just spend money, they make it work for them. They don't just consume content, they produce it. They don't wait for opportunities, they forge them. That's the shift. The moment you stop asking, what can I get, and start asking, what can I create? That's why the rich don't chase money, they attract it. Money follows value. The people who change the game understand this. Wealth isn't about luck, it's about leverage. They create something people need and money becomes a byproduct. Look at the greats: Elon Musk, Oprah Winfrey, Steve Jobs. They didn't just look for high-paying jobs, they built ecosystems. They mastered a skill, solved a problem, and provided massive value. And the result? Money followed. Influence followed, power followed. But here's where most people get stuck. They see obstacles instead of opportunities. Every challenge you face is a test, an invitation to level up. The economy crashes, that's a window for innovation. Competition rises, that's a push to improve. You lost your job, that's a chance to build something of your own. The world rewards those who see beyond the struggle and into the solution. You can either see problems as roadblocks or as raw material for greatness. So ask yourself, are you just playing the game, or are you controlling it? Because the moment you take ownership, everything changes. No more blaming, no more waiting, no more excuses, just action, just results, just a life designed by you on your terms. It's time to stop playing small. It's time to build. Reframing failure, the secret weapon of self-made millionaires. Let me tell you something. Every millionaire you admire, every success story you've ever heard has one thing in common: failure, and not just once. Over and over again. More times than you have even tried. Think about that for a second. The people you see standing at the top, they didn't get there by avoiding failure. They got there because they embraced it, learned from it, and kept moving forward. If you're afraid to fail, you're afraid to succeed, because failure isn't rejection, it's tuition. It's the price you pay for greatness. What if I told you failure is the price of entry? That every setback, every rejection, every no is simply another step toward the yes that changes everything. Most people see failure as the end. Winners see it as a beginning. You have two choices: let failure break you or let it build you. The difference isn't luck, talent, or intelligence. It's mindset. You don't lose when you fail, you lose when you stop. So stop fearing failure, start using it. Because the moment you reframe failure, you unlock the very thing that separates the average from the extraordinary. How to think like a wealth creator, not a wage earner. Let me tell you something. The way you think about money determines the way you live your life. If you think like a wage earner, you will always trade your time for money. But if you think like a wealth creator, you will learn to make money work for you. The biggest difference between the two, one is limited by hours in a day, while the other is only limited by the size of their vision. The difference between being paid for your time versus being paid for your impact. Think about it. A wage earner works for a set amount of money per hour. No matter how hard they push, their income is capped by time. But a wealth creator, They understand that real money comes from impact, not effort. That's why an author can make millions from a book they wrote years ago, while an hourly worker is still punching the clock. That's why entrepreneurs build businesses that pay them even when they sleep. If you want to break free, you must stop measuring your worth by the hours you put in. Instead, focus on creating value, because the world pays for value, not time. Ask yourself, how can I solve bigger problems? How can I reach more people? How can I create something once that pays me over and over again? That's the shift that turns employees into entrepreneurs, workers into leaders, and dreamers into doers. The unfair advantage that millionaires use to multiply their wealth. Here's the truth they don't teach you in school. The rich don't work harder, they work smarter. They use leverage. What is leverage? It's the unfair advantage that multiplies results without multiplying effort. It comes in different forms: money, technology, people, and ideas. Millionaires understand this, and they use it to escape the cycle of trading time for money. Think about a real estate investor. They buy one property with borrowed money, let tenants pay the mortgage. And over time, that one decision creates wealth for decades. Think about a business owner. They build a system that others run while they collect profits. Think about an artist who writes a song once and gets paid royalties for a lifetime. These people use leverage to escape the grind, and so can you. Practical steps to start thinking, acting, and earning like the wealthy. First, change your mindset. Stop thinking like a worker and start thinking like a builder. Instead of asking, how much will they pay me, ask, how can I create something valuable? Second, learn about leverage. Study how the wealthy use systems, investments, and automation to generate money without constant effort. If you're only earning when you're working, you don't have leverage yet. Third, take action. Start small, but start today. Build a skill, invest in an asset, or create something that pays you long term. Wealth isn't about luck, it's about choices. And the choice is in your hands right now. The world doesn't reward those who work the hardest. It rewards those who create the most value. So stop selling your time, start building your future, and make the shift from wage earner to wealth creator today. Let me tell you something. Chasing money is the fastest way to stay broke. Sounds crazy, right? But it's the truth. Look around. How many people do you know who work harder than ever, yet still struggle to make ends meet? They wake up early, put in long hours, stress over bills, and grind day after day. But no matter how much they push, they always seem to be one step behind. Why? Because they're focused on the wrong thing. They're chasing money instead of creating value. Money isn't the goal, it's the byproduct. It's the result of something far more powerful: solving problems. The people who thrive financially aren't the ones who simply work the hardest. They're the ones who create the most value. They solve real problems, fill gaps, and provide solutions people are willing to pay for. Think about it. The richest people in the world didn't get there by clocking in more hours than everyone else. Jeff Bezos didn't become a billionaire by working overtime at a department store. Elon Musk didn't build his fortune by punching a time card. They identified problems, found solutions, and created massive value. Your income is not determined by how much time you spend working. It's determined by how much value you bring. If you spend your life exchanging time for money, you will always be capped by how many hours you can work. But if you shift your mindset and focus on value, there is no limit. So stop chasing money. Start chasing impact. Start looking for ways to solve problems, to serve, to create. Because when you do that, money doesn't just come, it flows. Let me tell you something most people get wrong about money. They think it's something to chase, to hoard, to stockpile, like a dragon guarding its treasure. But that's not how wealth is built. That's not how freedom is created. If you're clutching every penny, terrified to let it go, you're not controlling money, it's controlling you. Think of money like oxygen. You don't spend your days obsessing over every breath, stuffing air into bags just in case you run out. No, you breathe in, you breathe out, and you trust that there's always more. That's how the wealthy treat money. They don't hoard it. They make it work for them. They invest, they create, they move it around like a river, not a stagnant pond. Because money, just like oxygen, is meant to flow. When you shift your mindset from scarcity to abundance, everything changes. Scarcity tells you to hold on tight, to fear loss, to hesitate. Abundance tells you to take calculated risks, to put your money where it can grow, to use it as a tool, not a crutch. Because here's the truth. Money is not the goal, it's the fuel. And when you stop obsessing over collecting fuel and start focusing on where you want to go, that's when real success begins. The harsh truth, most people stay broke because they don't understand money. Let me tell you something that most people don't want to hear. Staying broke is not about how much you make. It's about what you know and how you use it. You see, society has done an incredible job of conditioning people to be consumers, not wealth builders. From the moment you're old enough to spend money, you're bombarded with messages telling you to buy, buy, buy. New gadgets, flashy clothes, expensive cars, things that lose value the second you take them home. And then what happens? You're stuck in a cycle. You work, you get paid, you spend. And when you spend it all, you work some more. That's not financial freedom, that's a treadmill. The problem isn't a lack of income, it's a lack of financial education. There are people making minimum wage who build wealth over time, and there are millionaires who go bankrupt. Why? Because wealth is not about how much you earn, it's about how much you keep, invest, and grow. If you don't master money, it will master you. And when money controls you, life becomes a constant battle. Living paycheck to paycheck isn't just stressful, it's a form of financial slavery. You work for money, but the wealthy, they make money work for them. They don't just save, they invest. They don't just earn, they multiply. They don't just spend, they strategize. So the question is, are you ready to break free from the cycle? Because it starts with one thing, understanding money before it understands you. The power of financial education. Learn the rules or lose the game. Money controls more of your life than you realize. It dictates where you live, what you eat, the opportunities your children will have, and the freedom you enjoy, yet most people go through life without ever truly understanding how it works. They trade their time for a paycheck, spend what they earn, and repeat the cycle endlessly, never questioning if there's a better way. Let me tell you something. If you don't learn the rules of money, you will always be a pawn in someone else's game. And in this game, ignorance is expensive. The truth is, schools don't teach you the critical lessons about money. They teach you how to be a good employee, how to follow instructions, and how to fit into a system. But they don't teach you how to build wealth, how to leverage money, or how to make it work for you. That's why so many people, despite working hard their entire lives, struggle financially. They were never given the blueprint. They were never taught that financial freedom isn't about working harder, it's about working smarter. The rich understand this. They don't just invest in assets, they invest in knowledge first. Before they put a single dollar into stocks, real estate, or business ventures, they invest in learning how money flows. They study market trends, taxation, cash flow, and economic cycles. They know that without financial education, even $1 million investment can disappear overnight. But with the right knowledge, even a small amount of money can grow into a fortune. That's why financial literacy isn't optional, it's the foundation of wealth. So here's the question. Are you working for money, or is money working for you? Most people spend their lives chasing paychecks, but the wealthy build systems that make money chase them. They understand that money is a tool, a servant, not a master. They don't rely on one income stream, they create multiple. They don't trade hours for dollars, they create assets that generate income around the clock. The difference between those who struggle and those who thrive isn't luck, it's knowledge. If you want to change your financial future, start by changing what you know about money. Read books, take courses, learn from those who've mastered the game. Because in the end, money isn't the problem. Lack of financial education is. And the sooner you learn the rules, the sooner you can stop playing someone else's game and start winning your own. Let me tell you something about money. Most people think the key to wealth is just working harder. More hours, more effort, more sacrifice. But that's not how real wealth is built. If it were, the hardest workers in the world would be the richest. And we know that's not the case. So what's the secret? It's simple. Money's not just earned, it's multiplied. And the formula is this. Money equals value x leverage. Let's break it down. Value is what you bring to the table. Your skills, your knowledge, your ability to solve problems. The bigger the problem you solve, the more valuable you become. That's why doctors and engineers make more than cashiers. But even then, value alone won't make you wealthy. The real game changer is leverage. Leverage is how you take your value and scale it. It's why a best-selling author makes millions from one book while a teacher earns a salary. It's why an entrepreneur can turn an idea into a billion-dollar company while an employee gets a paycheck. The difference is leverage. Using systems, technology, people, and investments to amplify your value beyond your personal effort. If you're trading time for money, you've got a ceiling. There are only 24 hours in a day. But if you build something that works while you sleep, a business, investments, intellectual property, you break free from that limitation. So ask yourself, are you just earning or are you multiplying? Because that's the real difference between those who stay stuck and those who build wealth. The choice is yours. Let me tell you something. If you think just having a job will make you rich, you're playing the wrong game. A job pays you for your time, but time is limited. The moment you stop working, the money stops too. That's the paycheck trap, and most people never escape it. Think about this. If your income depends on your hours, you're in trouble. Why? Because you only have so many hours in a day. Even if you work harder, even if you get a raise, your earnings are still tied to the time you put in. And time, that's the one thing you can't get more of. Now look at the people who build real wealth. They don't just work for money, they make money work for them. They create something that scales, a business, an investment, a system that earns even when they sleep. They understand this fundamental truth. Wealth isn't about working more hours, it's about creating more value. You need to ask yourself, are you just trading hours for a paycheck, or are you building something that grows? Because if you don't own something that can multiply without your constant effort, you'll always be stuck on the treadmill. And treadmills don't go anywhere. It's time to stop thinking like an employee and start thinking like a creator. That's the key to real financial freedom. The harsh truth, you're paid for the problems you solve. Let me tell you something that most people don't want to hear. The world doesn't pay you for your time. It pays you for the problems you solve. If you're stuck in the same place financially, it's not because the system is rigged against you, and it's not because life is unfair. It's because you're solving problems that are too small. Look around you. Who makes the least amount of money? The people who do things that almost anyone can do. Flipping burgers, answering phones, sweeping floors. These are necessary jobs, but they don't require unique skills. They solve basic, low-impact problems, and the paycheck reflects that. Now let's talk about the people who make millions. What do they do differently? They solve big problems. They create solutions where others see obstacles. They take on complexity that others avoid. They don't get paid for the hours they put in. They get paid for the value they create. That's the millionaire mindset. If you want to change your income, stop thinking like a worker and start thinking like an asset. What skills can you develop that solve higher level problems? What knowledge can you acquire that makes you indispensable? The minute you start solving bigger problems, your paycheck will reflect it. That's the truth, whether you like it or not. Let's talk about something that separates those who struggle from those who thrive. Marketable skills. Skills that don't just look good on a resume, but actually generate wealth. Because let me tell you something. If you want to change your financial future, you need to stop focusing on just working hard and start focusing on working smart. What's the difference between a low-income skill and a high-income skill? A low-income skill is something almost anyone can do. Basic labor, simple tasks, things that don't require strategy or specialized knowledge. They keep you in the cycle of just getting by. But high connect skills, these are the game changers. These are the skills that create leverage, open doors, and put you in control of your financial future. Let's break it down. Sales. If you can sell, you can thrive in any economy. Marketing. If you understand how to attract attention and drive demand, you will always be valuable. Negotiation. The ability to turn any deal in your favor, whether it's a job offer or a business deal. Investing, knowing how to make money work for you instead of working for money. Now ask yourself this, how many skills have you learned in the last year that can actually make you money? Not skills that just fill up your time or make you feel productive, but skills that put money in your pocket. If the answer is not enough, then it's time to change that. Because the truth is, money follows value. And value comes from skills that matter. Let me tell you something. There is no investment on this planet that will give you a greater return than investing in yourself. Not stocks, not real estate, not even the hottest business trends. Why? Because everything you touch in life is a direct reflection of who you are. Your skills, your knowledge, your mindset. These are the foundations of success. Think about it. If you stripped away every dollar from a self-made millionaire, what would happen? They'd rebuild. Why? Because they didn't just have money, they had the skills, the discipline, and the mindset to create wealth. But give a lottery winner a fortune, and statistics show that most of them will be broke again in just a few years. That's the difference between wealth and temporary luck. So ask yourself, are you building yourself up like an asset, or are you coasting through life hoping things magically improve? Because the truth is, no one's coming to save you, no one's handing out success, It's up to you. In the best part, you don't need permission to start. You don't need money to learn. Information is everywhere. But the real question is, are you consuming or applying? Are you growing or are you making excuses? So here's where you start. Read the books, take the courses, develop high-value skills. Learn how to communicate, how to lead, how to adapt. Every single hour you put into improving yourself pays dividends for the rest of your life. Because at the end of the day, the greatest investment isn't in what you own, it's in who you become. Let me tell you the truth, most people don't fail because they lack knowledge. They fail because they never start. They sit on ideas, waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect conditions, the perfect confidence. But perfection is a lie. It's a comfortable excuse disguised as preparation. How many times have you said, I'll start when I have more time, when I have more money, when I feel ready? And yet weeks, months, even years pass, and you're still standing in the same place, watching opportunities slip by. The problem isn't a lack of information. You already know what you need to do, you just don't execute. Look around. Some of the most successful people aren't the smartest. They're the ones who take action while you're researching someone else is doing. While you're waiting, someone else is learning by failing, because that's how real progress happens. Not through theory, but through action. Perfectionism is a slow poison. You don't need to get it right, you just need to get it going. Start before you're ready. Start while you're uncertain. Because movement creates momentum, and momentum creates results. Stop waiting. Start moving. Because the cost of inaction is far greater than the cost of failure. Imagine your life 5 years from now. Think about it. Close your eyes and picture where you'll be if you keep doing exactly what you're doing right now. If you stay stuck in the same routines, if you keep making excuses, if you let fear hold you back, where will you be? The answer is simple. You'll be in the same place, only 5 years older. You'll have the same regrets, the same missed opportunities, and the same unfulfilled potential. Is that what you want? 5 more years of the same? Or is it time to change? Now let me ask you this. What if you chose a different path? What if, instead of waiting, you took bold action today? 5 years from now, you could be living a completely different life. You could have the skills, the relationships, the income, the impact that you've always dreamed of. But only if you start right now. Successful people understand something crucial. They know that time is the most precious resource we have. And they make decisions with urgency. They don't wait for perfect conditions because they understand that the cost of inaction is far greater than the temporary discomfort of starting. So what will it be for you? Will you endure the pain of discipline and growth now, or the pain of regret and missed opportunity later? The choice is yours, and it starts today. Let me tell you something. Progress doesn't always come from giant leaps. It comes from small, consistent actions taken every single day. You don't need to make huge, dramatic changes to your life. You just need to never stop moving forward, even if it's at a crawl. Think about the power of 1%. If you get 1% better every day, in just 1 year, you'll be 37 times better than you were when you started. That's the rule of small improvements. You don't need to master everything overnight. What matters is that you show up. You put in the work day in and day out. The key is in the repetition. Now ask yourself, how many times have you put something off thinking it was too big of a goal to achieve? How many times have you hesitated because you thought, it's not worth it, I'm too far behind? That's where people fail. They give up because they think they need to change everything at once. But the truth is, small actions compound over time. They build momentum. Think about this. A simple habit like reading for 20 minutes every day can completely transform your knowledge over time. A workout routine that's just 30 minutes a day can lead to incredible physical transformation. Those who succeed aren't always the smartest, the strongest, or the luckiest. They're just the ones who didn't stop. So stop looking for shortcuts. Stop waiting for the right moment. Just take that next small step. Build the habit, trust in the process, and let consistency do the rest. Let me tell you something. If you want to win, you need to stop giving yourself a way out. It's that simple. Because as long as you keep an escape route, as long as you keep a back door open, you'll never fully commit. You'll always have 1 foot in the game and 1 foot out. And that, my friend, is the quickest way to stay stuck. Let me take you back in history. There's a powerful story of a general named Hernan Cortez. When he arrived in the New World, he faced overwhelming odds. His forces were outnumbered and the terrain was harsh. But Cortez did something drastic. He ordered his men to burn the ships they arrived on. Think about that for a moment. With no ships to return to, they had no choice but to fight, to succeed, or to perish. There was no turning back. That's the mindset you need. You have to burn your own boats. Cut off the option to fail. Stop thinking, well, if this doesn't work out, I'll just go back to my old job, my old life, my old comfort zone. No, you need to commit to your dream with everything you have. When you eliminate the escape route, something amazing happens. You unlock a level of determination and creativity you never knew you had. You dig deeper, you push harder. You make success not just an option, but the only option. So stop giving yourself excuses. Stop telling yourself, I can always quit. Burn the boats. Commit fully to your success, because when you do, you'll find a strength inside you that will carry you through any challenge. Let me tell you something. You are one paycheck away from disaster. If your entire financial future relies on a single income source, you're living in a dangerous illusion. The idea of job security is a lie that the system has sold us. No job is truly secure. Jobs disappear, companies fail, economies shift. And if all you have is that paycheck, you're one unexpected event away from being in serious trouble. Think about it. How many people wake up every day, clock in, do their work, and wait for the end of the month to get paid? It's the routine. But here's the truth. That paycheck is not guaranteed. The company you work for can shut down, layoffs can happen, or unforeseen circumstances can strike. When your financial well-being relies on one stream of income, you're gambling with your life. Now let's flip the script. Wealthy people know the game. They don't work for money, they make money work for them. They build multiple streams of income, they invest, create assets, and put their money into ventures that generate cash flow, whether they're awake or asleep. This is how they build real security. So let me ask you, are you ready to start taking control of your financial future? You need to start thinking beyond your paycheck. Look for ways to create multiple streams of income, whether it's investments, side businesses, or anything that will make your money work for you. Don't let your job be your only financial lifeline. Break free from that trap and start building a foundation that won't collapse under pressure. Let me tell you something. If you want to build real wealth, you need to stop relying on a single source of income. The wealthy know this truth all too well. They understand that diversifying income streams is not just a good idea, it's the only way to build lasting financial freedom. First up, side hustles. Don't wait for permission to start earning more. Look around you. There's always a way to turn your skills into cash. Whether it's freelancing, consulting, or diving into e-commerce, the opportunities are endless. Start small if you have to, but don't wait for the perfect moment to get started. The richest people in the world didn't wait for the stars to align. They went out, turned their expertise into profit, and started building wealth on the side. Now let's talk about investing. You don't need to be a financial expert to understand this. If you want to grow your money, you need to make your money work for you. Whether it's investing in stocks, real estate, or buying into a business, every dollar you put into the right investment has the potential to multiply. The key is to learn, adapt, and make educated choices. Do your research and take smart risks. Your future self will thank you. And finally, building assets that generate passive income. This is the key to financial freedom. Whether it's rental properties, dividend-paying stocks, or an online business that runs while you sleep, passive income is the game changer. These assets keep growing and generating cash flow without you needing to put in constant effort. It's how you break free from trading hours for dollars. Remember, the wealthy don't work for money. They make money work for them. You can too. Start by diversifying your income, investing wisely, and building assets that keep earning no matter what. Let me tell you something. Wealth is not built overnight. But once you understand the snowball effect, you'll see that it's unstoppable. Wealth builds itself over time, but it's only through small, consistent actions that this snowball starts to roll. Think about it. Small investments, side hustles, and consistent effort every single day. At first, it may feel like nothing is happening. You might look at your bank account or see the progress in your business and think, this isn't moving fast enough. But you're wrong. Each little step, each investment, each action is like packing snow onto that snowball. At first, it's small, but with time, it picks up speed. It starts to grow and it becomes unstoppable. Take a look at some of the wealthiest people in the world. They didn't wake up one day with a fortune. They started with small investments, building their portfolio, their business, their skill set, piece by piece. Warren Buffett, for example, began investing at the age of 11 with just a few dollars. Today, those small investments have compounded into billions. It wasn't about striking gold or making a quick fortune. It was about sticking to the process. This is where consistency and patience come in. The world wants instant gratification, but wealth isn't about quick wins. It's about showing up day after day, even when it doesn't feel exciting or glamorous. That's how the snowball effect works. It's slow at first, but then it picks up momentum. If you stay committed, if you stay patient, the results will come. So ask yourself, are you willing to stay in the game long enough for the snowball to roll? If you are, get ready, because that snowball is going to crush anything in its path. Let me tell you something that may sting a little. If you hang around 5 broke people, you'll be the 6th. Sounds harsh, right? But this is the truth. The people you choose to spend your time with will shape who you are. Your mindset, your habits, your ambition, and even your financial future. The conversations you have, the way people around you think, their energy, this all affects you. It's easy to think you can be the exception, that you can stay grounded while the world around you drags you down. But the truth is, we are constantly influenced by those closest to us. Whether we realize it or not, the habits, beliefs, and attitudes of our circle rub off on us. Think about it. If you're constantly around people who talk about partying, staying stuck in dead-end jobs, and avoiding challenges, what does that tell you? It tells you that this is normal. It tells you that there's no need to strive for more. But if you're surrounding yourself with ambitious, forward-thinking, and positive people who push you to be better every single day, guess what happens? You grow. You start seeing opportunities, you raise your standards. Your network is your net worth. Choose wisely. Are you surrounding yourself with people who challenge you, who uplift you, and who push you to be the best version of yourself? Or are you in an environment that's holding you back, keeping you small, and keeping you from your full potential? The choice is yours. But remember, the people around you are shaping your destiny. Let me tell you something. If you don't have a mentor, you need one. And I'm not talking about just any mentor. I'm talking about the kind of people who have already walked the path you want to walk. The ones who have made the mistakes, faced the struggles, and come out on top. Because success leaves clues. If you want to achieve something extraordinary, find someone who has already done it and learn from them. Now, I know what you're thinking, but I don't have access to those kinds of people. I can't just walk up to them and ask for their time. Here's the secret. You don't need personal access to learn from the right people. The internet is a goldmine. Books, online courses, and digital communities are full of wisdom and strategies that can change your life. A book could be the mentor you need, and an online course could be the shortcut to achieving your goals faster. But it's not just about consuming knowledge, it's about taking action. Find the successful people who inspire you, follow their journeys, and start to model their behavior, whether it's through the books they've written, the podcasts they've appeared on, or the online communities they've built. You can learn from them. And here's the kicker. Mentorship doesn't have to be a one-on-one relationship. Networking is a powerful tool. Engage in communities, attend events, and reach out. You don't know where that next conversation will lead. The right connection could change everything for you. Remember, the people who've been where you want to go are the best ones to guide you. So stop waiting for the perfect moment to find a mentor. Start seeking them out and let them guide you to your greatness. Let me be brutally honest with you. You can't build an empire with people who want to stay in the gutter. If you're surrounding yourself with people who are constantly pulling you down, draining your energy, or telling you what you can't do, you're wasting your time, the people around you matter. More than you realize. Think about it. If they're not helping you grow, they're holding you back. There's no middle ground here. You can't keep toxic relationships in your life and expect to soar to new heights. Every negative word, every judgmental look, every moment they steal from you, it all adds up. It's like trying to run a marathon with weights tied to your legs. And it's exhausting, but here's the good news. You have the power to change that. Identify who is in your life right now, who's bringing you down. Maybe it's a friend who always criticizes your dreams. Maybe it's family members who question every decision you make. Or maybe it's a colleague who feeds you negative energy every time you speak. Cut them out. Set boundaries. This isn't about being cruel. It's about protecting your mental space. Your growth depends on it. If you want to rise, you need to surround yourself with people who inspire you, challenge you, and believe in your potential. Energy is contagious, so make sure you're surrounded by the right kind. You don't have to explain yourself to anyone. Protect your peace, protect your dreams. Every time you say no to a negative influence, you say yes to your future. Make that choice today. Let me tell you something straight up. Motivation is a lie. It's like a spark. Quick, bright, but gone in an instant. If you're waiting for motivation to show up every day, you're setting yourself up for failure. Motivation is fleeting. One day you feel on top of the world, ready to conquer everything. The next, you can barely get out of bed. That's why motivation will always fail you. It doesn't last. It's an emotional high. And like all highs, it eventually crashes. So what are you supposed to do when it fades? Discipline. Discipline is what will carry you through when the motivation is long gone. Discipline is not about being excited. It's about showing up. It's about making the choice every day to do the work even when you don't feel like it. You don't need to feel motivated to be successful. You need to be disciplined. Think about the world's most successful people. They didn't get there by waiting to feel motivated. They got there because they built habits that made success inevitable. They showed up even when they didn't feel like it, even when it was hard, even when the world was telling them to quit. The key to wealth, to success, it isn't excitement, it's commitment, it's consistency. It's deciding every day to do what needs to be done. Motivation won't get you across the finish line, but discipline will. And once you start showing up, even on your worst days, you'll be unstoppable. Let me ask you this. What do you do as soon as you wake up? If you roll over, grab your phone, check your messages, or scroll through social media, you're already setting yourself up for failure. You don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your habits. That's the truth. The wealthy, the successful, they don't leave their mornings to chance. They know that the way they start their day dictates the way their day goes. They're setting the tone for success before they even get out of bed. Take a moment and think about the most successful people you know, or better yet, the ones you've heard of. What do they have in common? They all have a morning routine that fuels their mindset and keeps them laser focused. Whether it's exercise, reading, meditation, journaling, or simply a quiet cup of coffee with intention. They start their day on purpose. Here's the secret. Top performers aren't distracted, they're focused. They know that time is their most valuable asset, and they don't waste it on irrelevant noise. While most people spend their days bouncing from one distraction to the next, successful people stay in control. They prioritize what matters. Now, how do you get there? You create habits that put you in the driver's seat of your day. Accountability is key. Find someone to hold you to your goals, track your progress. Small wins lead to bigger wins. Make it a non-negotiable routine. Your morning habits are the foundation of your success. Success isn't about a few big moves. It's about winning the small battles every single day. If you can win your morning, you can win your day. If you can win your day, you can win your life. Let me ask you a question. What if for the next 1,000 days, you committed to mastering just one wealth building skill? Think about it, 1,000 days. It might sound like a long time, but when you break it down, it's just 3 years. That's 3 years to change your life forever. Here's the truth. The secret to success isn't about finding the magic bullet or waiting for that one big break. It's about compounding effort, day after day, with a relentless focus on improvement. Small actions create massive transformations. You've heard of the power of compound interest, right? You put in a little and over time it grows, but let me tell you something even more powerful. The compounding effect of daily effort. What you do every day has an exponential impact on your life over time. It's like planting a seed. At first you don't see anything, but if you nurture it, water it, and let it grow, soon you'll have a tree that bears fruit for years to come. That's how you build wealth. If you want to be a millionaire, if you want financial freedom, it doesn't happen overnight. It's about doing the hard work consistently, day in and day out. It's about mastering a skill. Maybe it's investing, maybe it's sales, maybe it's building an online business. But whatever it is, you have to be disciplined enough to commit to it for 1,000 days. Now, let's talk about developing long-term discipline. The key here is a challenge-based approach. Make a commitment, make it non-negotiable. When you commit to something for a defined period, say 1,000 days, it's not just about the action you take, it's about the mindset you build. Discipline is a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. So here's my call to action. I'm challenging you right now, commit to your 1,000-day challenge. Pick one skill, one thing that will move the needle in your life, whether it's learning how to invest, mastering a sales technique, or starting that side hustle you've been dreaming about. Do it every single day without fail for the next 1,000 days. If you do this, you will change your life. Your future self will thank you for the commitment you make today. You'll look back and realize that in 3 years you built something incredible. But it won't happen if you don't take that first step. So, what's your challenge going to be? What will you commit to for the next 1,000 days? The choice is yours, but remember the clock is ticking.